Well, hello there, friends. Thank you for joining me on the new Mailbag Sunday. I have 2 videos coming out every Sunday. Now, in the mornings, I have my usual upholstery tutorial, and in the afternoons is where you're going to see my Sunday mailbag. So now we have 2 really great questions on the Sunday mailbag. The first one comes from Drivewayshop, who has some questions and comments about sewing pleats. The second one comes from Bob Olsen, who thinks that I'm picking apart our friend, Mr. Cechaflo, who has like millions and millions and millions of subscribers. So here we go. So the first comment comes from the video, Flat Felled Seam or Top Stitch, Sewing Upholstery Tutorial for Beginners. So this one comes from Drivewayshop. So what he's talking about here is the satire video about the other YouTuber that makes $1 million videos and million view videos. Anyway, he says, I just watched that video yesterday. I can appreciate his methodical approach. And as basically a beginner, I don't mind the slow version he presents. Though the measuring is excessive, on the other hand, I like your speed and no measure technique. I do have a question, or an observation, I suppose. Most upholsterers I've watched start in the middle and work out when doing pleats, but you work from one side to the other. I guess it doesn't really matter. Maybe you could discuss that on one of your mailbags. And I appreciate, and I gave him a thumbs up, and I and this is what I had to say. Hello, Driveway in Idaho. What a coincidence. I love that you noticed my technique. Efficiency is the key to financial success. I stress this in many of my videos, especially my business side videos, where I can show you how to make a great living doing upholstery. I would be happy to discuss the reasoning behind my pleating method in an upcoming mailbag video. So let's get into these. Well, I'm not sure which videos you've been watching, and I haven't really seen anybody start from the middle when doing pleats. But it always made sense to me. It's the way I did it from the very beginning, is starting on from one side and going and continuing all the way through, sewing pleats until I'm done. So really, and the only answer I have is it's what I've always done, and I don't know any other way. So this is what I present to you in my videos, is what I know. I don't do what other people do, because I don't know what other people do, because I never watch their videos, because I don't want to be influenced in any way. I want to show you pure and undiluted content of what I have always done and what works for me. So I guess the reasoning behind me just starting on one end and working my way over to the other end is when I first sew that first pleat, what I do is I roll it, and then I can sew the second pleat, and then I roll it and it feeds underneath the opening in the sewing machine. Okay, so I keep sewing the pleat, roll it, sew the pleat, roll it, and then it ends up being in a roll where I don't know, it just seems to be the best way for me to do it. I can't even imagine starting in the middle and working my way out. I don't even see the logic there. But maybe if you guys are doing that and it's working for you, that's all that matters. I always say that there's no right way and there's no wrong way of doing things. There's always just a different way of doing things. Well, I dug up an old video where I'm actually sewing some pleats to kind of demonstrate what I'm talking about. So I usually start with a pleat on one end and I work my way out. But you know what? You have that extra material after a while. So what you got to do, you got to roll it. So that's what I do, is I roll it, and that actually gives me like a grab handle to help guide my stitch, which is, everything helps, right? So I go to roll it up again, do the next stitch, and I just continue. As many pleats as there are. It looks like these are probably 3-inch pleats. So of course, if you did 1-inch or 2-inch pleats, there's going to be a lot more of them. It's always a good idea to check for your bobbin. Make sure that you're not going to run out of bobbin mid-stitch. That would be a tragedy. Look at him go. It's almost like he's in fast motion. Reminds me of those old silent movies where they rush the action. Oh, look at that, how fast he did that. He's on his last pleat. And that's what I'm talking about when you're rolling the pleats and you're sewing the pleats.
If you find value in my upholstery tutorials, now is an easier way to contribute to my YouTube channel. Buy a coffee by scanning this QR code now. Thank you.
And the next question comes from the video, Stop Flat Felt Seam or a Top Stitch Sewing Upholstery Tutorial. So what Bob Olsen has to say is, I did learn something. You can be different from your old, nice self. I've watched old Mr. C for a long time and I have liked his videos. Why are you picking him apart? So I gave him a thumbs up and a heart. And what I had to say was, hello, Bob. Oh, I struck a nerve. Sorry about that. You are the first person with a response like this after 5,200 views and 95 comments. Never said anything bad about him. I even linked to his video. Link down below. All I was doing was showing how I do it. People are intimidated to start upholstery because of other people's videos make everything out to be rocket science. I want to show people it is not as complicated as they are taught. Once viewers realize that it is not rocket science, they become enthusiastic to start. I know because they have told me so. I can see your loyalty to the other guy, and he has earned that. Like I always say, there's no wrong way or right way of doing things, just another way. I know when I get questions about millimeters or eighths of inches, I know they have seen his videos. I appreciate your long-time support and always strive to keep things friendly here. So let's go ahead and dive into that a little bit. So in the video that he's talking about, I made a video where we both basically, and you can watch his video, but we basically did the same thing and ended up with the same result. But what I like to stress is efficiency. If you want to make money in this business, you can't take 2 hours to make something that you otherwise could have done the same exact outcome in 30 minutes. Doesn't that make sense? Because when you finish that first job in 30 minutes, instead of taking 2 hours to do it, you move on to the next job. So you move on to that next job. Okay, so that takes you an hour. So you just did 2 jobs in an hour and a half, where when you do the rocket science way, it takes you 2 hours just to do the first job. So what that means is that if you're efficient, you're running circles around the guy that is Mr. Perfect and everything has to be Mr. Perfect regardless of the job. That's fine in fantasy land. But as you know, I run a real upholstery business here. And when you're running a real upholstery business, you have to keep the blood flowing, right? You don't want to get any clogged arteries where the jobs get stuck and you get married to some job and then you're wondering why you can't even pay your bills. Then there's going to be those of you out there that are going to say, okay, Richard, he's cutting corners. He's teaching everybody how to do shoddy work. Okay, but really, if you wanted to see my work, you can see it right there. I'll link below, rudolphsupholstery.com, where you can really see 50 years of my work. Okay, so I've done $1 million cars, $1 million cars, $1 million cars, $1 million cars. Okay, so when you see my work on my website, and you can tell me about quality. So quality fits the job. I just recently did some boat cushions for a little old lady that was super tight on her budget. She wasn't asking for much, so I gave her exactly what she wanted. She paid exactly what she wanted to pay, and the job was quick and easy for me. So I still made money on the job for both me and her. That job was a win-win. She got exactly what she wanted, and I can pay my bills. But what that means that when you take on those big jobs like that, you're marrying the job for sure. Okay, so it's going to take you 4, 5, 6 weeks to do that job. Sure, you made the $10,000, but you know what? I'm telling you, I've said this before in videos, is if you really want to make some money and you want to have a really nice financial future for you and your family, what you want to do is you want to take on these little small, quick in and out jobs, the ones that pay high and don't take that much time to do. Every single one of my videos except for one, okay, all the work that you see me do in my videos are from real customers, and these are real jobs. I don't invent something just to make a video. While I did once. Okay, that's really the video that we're talking about today. It just happens to be that video. I present all of these videos and these jobs for the beginners. It's because and there's no use in trying to teach somebody that's an advanced class, right? There's a lot more people out there that are really interested in beginning upholstery. They got this itch that they want to learn. So the last thing that I want to do is see somebody get intimidated where they don't even want to begin. They don't even want to start the journey because they're thinking it's too hard and too difficult. And I'm really tired of seeing people in my comments where they're new upholsterers and they think that they failed and they want to give up because they think that everything is rocket science. And I'm here to tell you it really isn't as difficult as everybody says that it is. Really, when you boil it down to its most simplest form, okay, all upholstery, regardless of what it is going to be similar. Okay, the only thing that's going to be different is going to be the shape of the item that you're working on. And everything is going to be disassembled, and then everything is going to be reassembled. And that's it. There's not any more difficult than that. Okay, so I'm talking about everything that's from a motorcycle seat to an aircraft seat. Okay, a headliner to a convertible top. Okay, a kitchen chair, grandma's rocking recliner. Okay, the only thing that's going to change between all of those is going to be the shape. Every single one of them has in common what I just listed. So how do you do things? Put it down in the comments. Okay, is it rocket science for you? Do you treat it as rocket science? Or have you been listening to me and do everything quickly and efficiently? And then you're wondering, wow, where's all this money coming from? And always remember, make much more money than what you spend. Okay, if you're spending a lot more money than what you make, all of this means nothing. Hey, if you're stuck on a project or just want some one-on-one help, let's jump on a private consultation video call. We can look at what you're working on together and we'll get it all sorted out and answer all of your questions. Just head over to my Buy Me a Coffee page with your contribution to lock in a time and we'll talk. The link's down below. The other day I had a phone call where the contributor, he had went into this big technical discussion with me about how he was going to buy all this equipment, he was going to hire all these people, he's going to rent this big building. And I'm like, okay, so if he does that, where in the heck is the money going to be for him if he's sharing all his money with everybody? I had to tell him the cold hard truth. I'm not sure if he appreciated what I had to say, but what I told him is I said, you know what, you're going to have peace, no stress. I've been doing this 50 years as a one-man show. I don't have to answer to anybody. I keep a low overhead. I'm not sharing my income with anybody. And that's a huge difference. So either I can have no stress, me just being me, or I can have all this stress, trying to manage 20 people, paying, I don't know, who knows what in rent every month, in the lease for how many years. Oh my gosh. So going back to Cechaflo, I never told anybody that they shouldn't watch his videos. And I never told anybody anything bad about him. And I never said anything about his work. Like I say, I even link to his videos so that way other people can see if they've never seen him before. And who knows what? Of course they're going to learn from him, but they're going to learn his way of doing things. And if you're watching my videos, you're going to learn my way of doing things. These questions are really good questions, and these are questions that you should also be thinking about. If you're thinking about it, put it down in the comments, and we'll keep that conversation going, right? Be sure to get it all in your comments, and who knows, maybe your comment will be featured. I hope you're enjoying our new Sunday afternoon mailbag segment. So until next time.
If you like this video, you'll really like the next one.